Okay, everybody. Hi, I am Dr. D, if you don't know. So today I decided to go live and talk about some things that I thought people should know about spices. So this is about spices. How do you see spices? Usually, a lot of people get spices like these. Don't want to say the brand, but in a powdered form. And for me, I like to get them close as natural as possible. So let's talk about this. Now, for you guys that don't know, this is what cinnamon looks like. And you can get it broken up and powdered. And the reason that I'm showing you these herbs because they have not only a purpose of spices, but also they have a healing modicity to it. Also for cleaning, which I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a quick recipe. So I decided to break out my spices and let you see what I do with some things. So let's go with this one. These are cloves. I'm trying to let you see. These are cloves. So these, when I was a kid, they used to take these cloves and put them in ham. And it would give it flavor, but also we didn't realize at the time it had really healing modalities that was protecting you for what you eat if you didn't realize it. And I didn't until I was older. We would always get the ham and always have to put all these cloves in it. And at the time when I was a kid, I didn't like, cloves. So these are what cloves look like. They're good for your blood. They're good for antifungal. They're good for antibacteria. They're good for black bacteria in your mouth. Actually, it really helps. So I would put these, which you're about to see, in another mixture. So there's a reason to my madness. And another one which I like. When I was in Mexico, these are cardamom. Cardamom smells so good. Another medicinal herb. If you can see. So these, sometimes people say they smell like soap. And to me, it smells good. Cardamom is used in a lot of Mideastern spices. So I wanted you just to see actually what it looked like. Also, the thing is that we use a lot. This is a peppercorn. Peppercorn are like, they're little berries. Okay? And basically, when you probably see it, it's already grinded into a powder form. But nowadays, you can get peppers, these, peppers, and they have different ones. I like Szechuan peppers. I like white peppers. So I'm going to show you a couple of these. Okay. And my other favorite pepper is African guinea peppers. I'll introduce you to them, and they're spicy. So I really like my food spicier, the better. I used to eat a lot of spicy, and then I had children, so I had to chill out from that. But now, children are gone, don't matter. So this is peppercorn. It's red peppercorn. And you can grind them up as well. Like if you have a spice grinder, if you have a mortar and pestle, that you can pound them out. Or, just, and what is that? Crackling. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be very real with you. I might not all know all the terms of them, but the tools that I use, but I have a lot of gidgets and gadgets. This is coriander, and I want you to show you what coriander looks like. It almost looks like peppercorns, It usually you can get coriander grounded. And basically it's related to the cilantro. So for this, it has multiple purposes too. It's also good, like we talk about heavy metals and things like that, removing from your system. So I will show you uh, cilantro, and there's cilantro on the cilantro. So there's two of them that you can use, and it all and they look different, but the similarities are the same. So these are good, and you'll find this in a lot of coriander and a lot of Mid-Eastern cuisines, a lot of African cuisines. You'll find these used. And so I wanted you to see, and then this is, like I said, this is, don't want to advertise. This is how you usually will see um, the clove powder. Can you see that? Okay. So now another one, which is my favorite, is nutmeg. Okay. I have a grater, a spice grater that I use to make nutmeg. It smells good, and it's called mace. So, but when you grind it and everything, this has medicinal purposes as well. Now, I have these oranges, and I am going to do a spice now. I have been fermenting oranges and limes in here, and I'm going to actually add some more in there. So what I do is I take some peels, and also with my orange and my lime peels, what I can do, which I like to do, is dehydrate them or let them dry out. And what happens is that you can have what we call orange peels or lime peels. Or you can take the peels and make them sweet. Uh, Honey, sugar, wrap them in that and use them later on. Just like crystal, you ever cure crystallized ginger, which is basically the same thing as ginger. So you take these, as you're watching me peel this live. So what I do, I don't dry this out. Whenever I have oranges or limes, I use whatever I have, and I take this and I break this and put this down. And I have a little bit of water in here, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of yeast. Now this is basically going to be an enzyme. And this you can use for, I'll say, different bacteria that break down. That if you have a dog, it takes smells away. Also is good for cleaning. This is also good for cleaning with. But I'm going to show you another one. This is the reason why I'm doing this. So each day, every 3 days, what I do is I take it, and what I do for about a month, you let it sit here and break down. I don't know if you can see the little bubbles. It breaks down the sugar with the yeast in here. Okay, that's the yeast. So I am a good into recycling. So whatever bottles I get, I borrow from people and I take them and I use it. So this is not quite ready. It usually takes up to 2 to 3 months. So my other bottle, which I use for, I make a lot of tinctures. Of course, this is not a tincture. What I have in here is some rosemary. I have some oranges. I have some limes in here. I have some bacteria. So again, what I am going to do, what you just see me do, I'm going to peel this. But to kick it up, the spices I just showed you, It has the rosemary in there. Did I show you some rosemary? Oh, let me show you rosemary. Nope, that's... Rosemary is usually in a powder form, or you see it whole when they're making, this is dried out rosemary. So I'm going to put that in there as well. Okay. So got an orange, put an orange in there with the peels, and you're about to see me add some other stuff. So this will make it even much stronger. And if you want, and you don't want to do the work of the oranges or the limes, what you can, this was used for the plague back in the day. This mixture of rosemary, clove, uh, oranges. What else was put in there? Cinnamon, all the spices. Spices, like I said, have a multi-purpose. They are very good. So let me put this in here. Like I said, I'm not trying to advertise because people don't pay me to advertise their stuff as of yet. So if you're out there and you want, I can help you. But I make tinctures. I make bath bath salts. I make sugar scrubs. I make facial clays. All things with, I believe, from nature. So we'll get to that. Like on TikTok, you seen I showed you how to make a foot sugar scrub that not only you use for your feet, but you also could use for your body and scrub it down. So nothing too complicated. Um, Very easy if you want. Now, because this is cinnamon, and what I'm going to do is the cinnamon, I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to stuff it down in here. Put it in there. Stuff this bad boy down in there. Can you see? Let me see. I want you to be able to see. It's going down in here. It's just not sitting at the top. Making sure all of this goes in here. So we got the cinnamon. And I want to use the whole herb. So as it's infusing, it's getting a good, you know, like that. So I also, remember I showed you the rosemary. So we're going to take some rosemary and put it in there. Even though there is some in there, I put the sprigs in there. So when you have herbs that are left over or dried out, they can get another life. And that is the positive about that. That they have another life. Not only you can take rosemary and make rosemary butter. So that is, if you're interested in something like that, how to make rosemary butter, how to make herb butter, I actually can do a video on that. So if you like, just, request. So I got that. So let's get to the clove. This, because it's so tiny, it definitely will go in. Let's see. And this is packed to the brim. You know what I usually do that I just didn't do? I usually break them, which helps them blossom and release the oils that are in the herb, which I didn't do this time, so forgive me, especially the clove. So this is very, oops. said, I'm not trying to advertise. Nobody's paying me. So, going through the skin. I have another orange, if you will. So I got the cinnamon, got the clove, got the rosemary, got the orange. And all this is, you can actually use 80 proof or stronger alcohol to actually get this effect and infuse it. And you'll get to see some things that can be done with that. So I got that in there, got the clove in there, and ooh boy, if y'all could smell the aroma vision, which they will have pretty soon, or if they don't, it'll be coming to a town near you. Take this, and you'll see it goes down. Now this, you can see the bubbles. You can see the bubbles. It's bubbles. So when you know that you see the bubbles and everything, it's really eating up the sugars. And when you have, like I said, those enzymes are very important of breaking down odors, stains, and doing disinfectant. So that's what you would use these for. At least I would anyway. So I wanted to share my, thing. So share, like. Do you have any questions? Let me know. I'll be glad to help you out. Now, if you really want to make different things, coriander, you can put them on bread. Cinnamon is basically, you see a lot of cinnamon in snickerdoodles, apple pies, also, cinnamon is also mixed with coffee and had medicinal purposes for it too, which is very good. Bet you didn't know that. Back in the day, coffee, which I'll show you how to make. I'm going to make doggone coffee. There's also cereal coffee that I'm going to be experiencing and see if I can get the effect of doggone with cereal coffee. A brand that I grew up drinking was Possum. Possun. Possum. I used to think it was possum, but Possum. That's how they called it when a kid, and it came in a blue jar. So I have all these memories of eating and not realizing that my parents were feeding me things that were good for my health. Now, my papa, which you've heard me talk about, which I love, in honor of him, he would make grits, eggs, and bacon. Some of y'all like, whatever. That would be my breakfast, and I would have International House of Coffee. So I grew up drinking coffee, regular coffee, Possum coffee. So that was my morning breakfast with my pop-up on some days when he was drinking his Sanka coffee in the orange thing. He would have his grits and his eggs, and he would make me some of that. Another component was, I grew up chicory. Chicory is added to coffee. Back in the day, I found out to give it not only robust, but people were running out of coffee. They would use that. But chicory is good for losing weight. Chicory was good for your body. It helps your immune system. So these are the things like cinnamon. It's not only good for giving it spice and pizzazz and a different taste, but cinnamon has a taste, medicinal purpose of helping the body. It's basically been like the new miracle thing for helping the body. Now, you ready for this? For diabetes and helping insulin levels, because it does help people sometimes cut down on cravings of sugar, which I find, and it's white sugar at that. So, cinnamon I use in various forms. I have sucanut, so I might take some sucanut sugar, and what I will do with it is mix it together, and that'll be like, I grew up eating cinnamon toast, so you put some butter on the toasted bread. Always had toasted bread. Toast the bread, put the butter on, and have that little bit of sugar and cinnamon. Or it would be toast and jelly, or I want to say strawberry jam. My family made a lot of stuff from scratch. My grandmother, which we was talking about the other day, used to make different foods that were good for the body, um, that help your body function and nourish. So it's a lot of things that my family um, did that I didn't know. Rosemary is also good for the body of cleansing, but also rosemary is also good for the body, for the hair. It helps your hair tremendously, for scalp stimulation, also cleaning the hair, and also helping the hair grow. So some people have cerebrum, growth of hair, like you might break out and like thick and dandruff and stuff like that. So basically, these are one of the ingredients that you can use. You can make a rosemary oil. Also, let's get into some maybe magical points of view of things that people talk about. Cinnamon is used for prosperity, or bringing things in, or money, abundance. These are the spices you'll see or smell when realtors are trying to sell a home. They'll usually put something with cinnamon in the oven, and it invites you. Cinnamon has an inviting feel to it. It makes you feel warm. It helps you get in touch, but take you to that happy place. That's what cinnamon does emotionally, the scent does. So not only the medicinal is diabetes and regulating your sugar and helping you, it also has, I want to say, a magical component. It helps a lot of realtors. They'll find big cinnamon toast or cinnamon muffins. They'll find them in there. Now, coriander. Coriander you'll find a lot in Mexican dishes. You'll find in a lot of Middle Eastern dishes. You'll find in a lot of African dishes. Now, these also have a medicinal purpose, like I said, but also this is good for bringing in prosperity. So this is another herb that, if you're thinking about it, you know, something to have in your cupboard. And we talked about the rosemary. And clove. Clove is good for your blood. Clove is also good for bringing in money. Clove is also good for bringing in abundance. So if you want something, then that's what you do. So there you go. So these are just a couple of things for you to be wary of or know about. So I am Dr. D. I hope to see you soon. If you have any questions, put them at the bottom. And I'll talk to you later. Where did it go? Uh, that's not what I wanted. I'm sorry, y'all.